wax seal.
Yeah, she gives him like.
I mean, it's been unsealed already, and the wax seal was just there was no there. It was pressed with a a flat surface, not a.
I mean,
I guess I'd say actual.
I
seal.
like the cleverness involved there, but it was already described. You weren't here for that, but it was already described as a letter that was extremely vague as from who was sending it, and extremely vague on who it was being sent to. But I like the idea that they sealed it with a royal seal or whatever.
Right. Yeah. No. They definitely sealed it with wax, but they didn't put a signifying mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they were smart about everything but the wrapping paper.
Hey,
this is wrapping paper you can only get at Walmart.
Unless you can identify the handwriting,
You think I've seen enough handwriting to realize that?
Oh man, you're the handwriting expert that can't read.
That's Rasmussen.
But let's see.
Okay.
You could give it an awareness, but I actually you could give it a counterfeit check too.
Well, I mean, this is also a roll that I or Genevieve haven't made yet either. Can we also try?
Yeah, you can also try.
I do have a skill in
counterfeit check.
I do have the forgery focus too, so.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I'd do it.
So you have some idea about that's why I was thinking specifically for your character with the forgery focus. Why you don't know what the letters mean? you do actually know about handwriting, so.
Oof, that was I had that on easy, so that should be 20 less, but it's still in the ballpark.
It would have been an awareness test.
Oh, really? Not scrutinizing it to try and figure out whose handwriting it is?
No, scrutinize is for people only.
Oh, right. I keep forgetting that. I'm really good at scrutinize. I'm not trained at awareness.
Yeah, it's one of those weird things because scrutinize.
I pass out. Wait, I think I know whose handwriting. Oh,
it's Jeb's.
But actually, yes, you do suffer some mental.
It hurts to look at the words.
You suffer 4.
What's not even that's underneath my peril threshold.
So it makes you a bead of sweat comes, but that's it. Getting a little nervous about this. Rutherford, have you made the check?
What difficulty?
Standard, sure standard.
Wait a second, forgery. You need to be educated to write, but you're not though.
I can draw. I can paint.
You write without knowing how to read, like.
I'm saying that's his own note on his skill. I didn't write that. He wrote that.
I know.
Looking at the
beginning.
Looking at the lettering, Rutherford, there's nothing you can glean from just looking at the lettering.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe Rasmussen can have a look at it.
Well, yeah, because I can read and I'm trained in counterfeit, so.
Yeah. And you said that you couldn't glean any more information off of your brother or Horseface, correct?
Well, Horseface, I had to take his nerves a little bit, and then finally he admitted that he told me he didn't know how to read anyways, but he also said all he knew that he had was the bootleg booze, and that's pretty much it. He knew nothing about no letter or anything.
Don't forget about the donkey.
Does the letter say where Carla is exactly?
No, right? I thought the letter just pinpointed that she was here. It doesn't say her exact location, right?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay. Hmm.
I mean, I suppose the thing here would be how many people know that Carla is here.
Mhm.
Well, me, Genevieve, you now. Who did you tell Genevieve?
Mm, I mean, I don't know what to think of this whole situation. I find it a little weird that my brother would have this conspiracy against Carla. I mean, what is he going to gain by doing it? It doesn't make any sense. Like, all he wants to do is make sure that the mead is being sent out for father.
What
And
is your dad doing right now?
as far as I know, his normal business that he does, but he usually doesn't give me the details.
Well, I know he's no longer interested in this town.
Yeah, that's true. So that's why I find it strange that if it was, let's say my father orchestrated this, or he told him to get information about this, or it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, it doesn't make sense why he would even bother.
Well, anyone who wants wealth or power would be willing to sell out an heir to the throne from the previous lord. Would it be Elja?
No,
doubt that.
I don't think.
Elja is in the process of negotiating her family's freedom from these lands. I doubt that she would do such a thing on the cusp of freedom.
Because if she, let's say she earns her freedom, wouldn't she be like essentially able to own land that's here?
She could technically, really speaking, I think she would be renting the land from the Lord.
Right.
Yeah.
But
The
they
current,
would be free.
I mean, without going into it in character, the out of character agreement would be that she would be working on the land and using the, whatever she produces as payment for being on the land.
Yeah, it would be similar, but they could leave if they wanted to. Right now, they couldn't leave if they wanted to. Technically,
Right.
I mean,
It's basically like a lease.
leave.
It's a lease with
Yeah.
serfdom added on.
Well, no, they get rid of the serfdom deal because now
Right.
they can leave if they want.
Right, but so
then,
long
they
as
don't have
they're
a
on,
house.
so long as they're on the land, it's effectively serfdom anyway. It's just unenforceable serfdom.
Right.
They're
But
temporary
they
trespassers.
can own property. Yeah, they can own property if they can afford it. Right. They basically would gain a lot more rights. Right. Because right now they're just serfs. They basically have no rights. So they would gain a great deal of them.
Right.
But effectively, not much would change with them.
But again, the idea being that throwing out there that they have nothing to gain from this, especially not on the verge of gaining their freedom.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, she wouldn't really gain much by endangering the town.
I mean, the only people I can think that would have anything to gain would be the Ziegenheld. Sorry, I can never remember the last name for some reason. So many of them have been wiped out. They might be feeling,
do have a warlock.
and they might be feeling a certain way about the rest of the town that turned their back on them in their moment of need.
That does make sense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there
Where's
could be
Marcia?
There could be any number of other people that hate us right now. For all we know, Brutus is out there writing notes with a beast man's hand.
True. But yeah, the thing is that we lack motive. Like, essentially, we don't know like we don't know motivation for
The
anybody.
problem with motive is that you can ascribe it to anyone.
Yeah.
It doesn't take much imagination to give someone a motive that doesn't exist.
At this moment, Rasmussen will enter the.
Hello, friends.
Do you know what this is?
I presume that you're handing me the letter.
Yes.
No, he's pointing at his shoes. What are those?
You may make a
Yeah.
similar counterfeit check.
Okay, sorry, that was standard, right? Standard difficulty.
Yes. So, looking at it, you know that that whoever wrote this was certainly educated, and has a great deal of it's definitely written in an experienced hand, but it does look a little suspicious in terms of it possibly being a forgery.
Okay, I declare with absolute certainty that this is a forgery.
How can you tell?
I begin to describe the hastily penned words that appear to be attempting to copy another hand, but you can see the hesitancy in the loops and so on.
I thought you were about to break into a whole Sherlock Holmes thing. Well, you see, it starts with the color of the ink.
Yeah, you speak competently on the subject, but you did it. But yeah, you're able.
Well, I'll end my explanation with, or so I've heard.
You see, it's quite elementary.
Mm-hmm. I've never been to that school.
Oh,
Well,
you
at
say
a
in front
school.
of Genevieve, who still thinks you're a noble?
Yeah, like she thinks so educated, but
The last person who doesn't know the truth?
You don't know if nobles in Begonia go to school.
I don't know. I'm quite sure that 2/4 of the people in this room can't point that place on a map. Possibly even
So-
3/4.
Who in this town knows how to write?
I do.
other than us, right? Other than
Mhm.
anyone
Yeah.
in this room.
I mean, I'd be hard pressed to say maybe like what 10%, because you got people like I'd imagine Matilda can read and write. I'd imagine the priest. I don't know if he's still in town or where he's at, but he obviously could read.
You could definitely write. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The innkeeper, because the innkeeper has to be able to keep notes and tabulations and whatnot. I don't know. I'm including math and reading and writing because I don't know. I don't know if you separate that.
Yeah. It would probably. It's actually a very short list. It's mostly the people in that room.
Hell, some of the
Lucius-
Huddsfields and Ziegenhals have to be able to read and write because they had to make agreements on land and matters.
Oh yeah. They don't. They have someone else arbitrate though. They would like have you like oversee it and write stuff down.
Yeah, that's fair.
So most of them are probably not reading and writing. So it'd be mostly the Bosks, you guys, Lucius, Anton probably could read and write since he was a free man technically.
Jeb.
Jeb probably can.
I imagine Eldra can read and write. She seems educated.
Yeah, she probably can too. Yeah, she's been around certainly.
So,
I'm gonna throw this out there. Witch Hunter probably knew how to read and write.
Size boot probably.
So, given that this is the first time that Rasmussen gets his hands on the letters, like, what are the broad contents of it? Like, well, what's the gist of what the letter says?
It points out that Carla is hiding in Bogenhofen, and it speaks about like defenses and how many people are here. Well, you wouldn't really know that. Yeah, I think that's like the broad strokes in the letter. I think.
So, is it Rasmussen's opinion then that the information in the letter is actually accurate? Based on what he's seen?
A good portion of it you would have to assume
No.
based on, evidence you could see. Like, I know how many people are in this town, or I know what the defenses of the town are.
Yeah, no,
I'm saying from like a first-person
just trying to
perspective.
think. No, I'm just trying to think here. I think it's semi-accurate. It's not perfect.
So, okay. So at this point, Rasmussen, he's in the room with Rutherford and Genevieve. Is Alexandre there, or is he still in the...
You barged into my room. What are you talking about?
Oh, I entered into your... I thought I just entered into the inn.
No, you burst into my room where I was having a meeting with Rutherford and Genevieve.
We're
Also
crowded
trying
in a
to,
small room full of knickknacks.
I'll relate, all the information that he has to everyone here, and he'll look to Alexandre and he'll say, this letter is outlining a lot of potentially sensitive information for the village. Anyone who has ill intent towards Bogenhofen would find at least some of this information very useful.
I mean, I think this long pause that was just here is quite the audible emotion in the room for Alexandre anyway, because literally you just burst into the room and said what the entire conversation was for the last half hour.
Rasmussen waits. He's not gonna presume anything beyond that.
We have to get rid of this letter.
Do we know where the letter came from?
No. I have no idea. We have suspicions, but there's no... Well, the most damning suspicion is that it came from my brother. My brother claims he's never seen the letter.
I have a question. Eyes narrow. Why do you want to get rid of the letter?
That's directed at you, Rutherford.
I know.
Not Rutherford. Wait, was it Rutherford who said that? I thought it was Rasmussen.
No,
I said
no,
that.
no, it wasn't Rasmussen.
Okay, well, never mind. Take that back. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand why Rutherford would say it. When I thought Rasmussen was saying it, I was like, wait a second, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, we could have your brother write out a sample of the sentences that are listed here, and I can compare the two and see if the letter was actually written in his...
That's a good idea.
Well,
I
mean, on the other hand, look at the letter. It's written in vagaries and absenteeisms, and when it comes to proper nouns. Sorry, couldn't think of the words there.
Well, and that's a good point, but the content of the letter means less to me in this exercise than the actual shape of the letters being formed.
No, that's what I'm saying, is that the person who wrote the letter was clearly trying to be obtuse as to not indicate who they are. Is it not fair to say that they probably tried to write it in a different hand?
It's entirely possible, but if nothing else, it'll give us a baseline to compare.
Sure. But at the same time, there could be people in this town who lie about being able to read and write. I think we have to... Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. At this time, though, you hear a booming voice down there calling for Rutherford.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
That might be... that might be our previous discussion.
Well, is this who you were talking about, Alexandre, down there?
Well, they were supposed to arrive soon, and I suppose this is soon.
Well, let's go and greet them, I suppose. They know you.
You come down and you see a knight dressed in lavish armor. He is unhelmeted, You can tell he's quite advanced in years. He's probably around 60 to 70, somewhere in there. He has an ornate blade at his side, and he's holding his helmet. Next to him is a foppish-looking gentleman with a large book, and beside him is a priest. As soon as you walk down, he says, "Are you Rutherford?"
Yes, I am. That is my name. Who are you?
I am Sir Beaumont. I am also from the lands around Begonia. But anyways, he shuffles around. I am here escorting the court notary to oversee the transfer of titles and estates to your name.
Ah, good. Yes.
If you just come down, I have important business to attend.
Ah, of course.
I wish to get out of this backwater as soon as I can.
Well, when he says backwater, I just kind of look like, okay. And I shout, Rasmussen, I need you. Come here now.
Yes, Lord. And I shuffle. I'll fold the letter and shove it in my inside pocket as I go.
Yeah.
By the way, if you just pivot your understanding of the entire game zone for a moment, that this guy considers this town a backwater, and he's moving on to do more important things, but to us, this backwater is like the most important thing ever.
Yep, it's all a question of perspective.
Yeah, because when he leaves this game, just imagine he's going out doing super badass shit all the time, every day, living his best life. We're stuck here in the swallow.
As you two approach, they say, "This is as fine a spot as any to take an oath, I suppose. Unless we should." He thinks about it and he goes, "No, I don't want to spend that much time here." "All right, priest, say your bits." The priest looks at you and he chimes up. He's a middle-aged man with a bald head and wearing the robes of the God Emperor's church. He approaches you and he says, "Are you ready to take your vow, sir?"
Yes. Yes, I am.
All right. Do you swear to serve your lord, Graf Eltham, and his heirs faithfully? And that goes on for a while. Basic vow stuff. To swear your fealty upon Lord Eltham. And he goes, "Do you such swear?"
I do.
He looks at you for a second and then goes, "Right." The attendant opens a book and he has a sheet of paper. He hands it to you and a quill, and he says, "Make your marks, right here." He points to a line.
And there's other writing on the page.
Yes, it's filled with writing.
Rasmussen, please read this aloud.
I do so.
So you lead the deed of lordship to the estates of Bogenhofen and Bogen Castle, and all that it entails. It's mostly sort of a primer to what your fief actually what punishments you have if you don't meet the tithe set by your lord, stuff like that. It's a fairly in-depth
No weird stuff.
No
butt stuff.
Okay. So I'll sign it, I guess.
Yeah, cool. So you make your mark, you're practiced. You have no idea what it says, but you write it.
Squiggles.
Copy something from above the page.
The the knight says, "Congratulations, Ritter von Rutherford. I suppose you have a lot of work to do, but we will be leaving as quickly as we can."
Very well.
They cut their things and as quick as they can to prepare for their journey off somewhere.
Yeah, and I'll walk up from behind and I'll say, "Well, looks like I work for you now." And I curtsy.
Are they out of the building now?
Yeah, sure. It doesn't take long.
Okay.
He shoots everybody.
Now, what's that favor you needed, Alexandre?
Well, I said to be announced. I didn't say right now.
Who is your enemy?
I have no enemies. What are you talking about? I, sir, am Alexandre de Gerard, friend to everyone.
Very well.
Wait, did you just say I am Alexander Gerard, friend to everyone?
Yeah, I said Alexandre Gerard, friend to everyone.
Friend to everyone. Okay.
Friend to
Rasmussen begins to chuckle.
Why? What did you think I said? Or did you think I said that?
I thought you said that.
Oh, okay. I'm confused then. by what you're implying.
That's okay.
When have I not been anyone's friend?
An attempt on my life comes to mind.
I attempted to stop you from ending somebody else's life.
Very true.
I also held you up with an empty gun, remember?
You absolutely did. And you saved my life when you held off the initial beast.
Yeah, stood in front of a horde for you people.
You're a really confusing guy.
Well, again, I held you at gunpoint with an empty gun, which means that my threat was empty from the get-go.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, what now, guys? What's the... Oh, pack animals. You were able to get a, basically an ox and a donkey, or I guess a mule and a donkey.
Probably also a yak,
and
right?
a cart. Oh, yeah, you've got the yak. You don't need any of that crap. You got a yak and a cart, man.
A yak that can carry over 600 to 700 pounds.
Yeah. He's a freaking trained battle yak of the ogre nomads or the ogre tribe
of the empire.
Ogre empire. Yeah, they're far more advanced than that. Yeah.
Yakety yak. Don't come back.
No more.
So you've got your battle yak, and we're able to secure a cart that you could easily, a wagon on which most of you could either ride or carry supplies on, or
well, I mean, there's a number of things that still need to be covered. One, that letter. Two, okay, maybe one thing. There was more things in my head, but suddenly, I don't know what it is. My brain just keeps stopped working in the middle of sentences.
You're doing what I do and forget what you're saying halfway through the sentence. You just gotta wing it.
Well, it's not that. I keep having this hacking cough, right? So every time I go to start talking, it's like a thing in the back of my throat. Anyway, we got the letter.
Oh yeah, we were gonna go.
We got the Well, I mean, we also have to visit your estate, see if it's proper.
Yeah.
I mean, one of those estates we're going to visit, which is the castle.
Yeah, we were going to go still talk to Genevieve's brother, correct?
Genevieve's mother?
Brother. And have him...
Brother.
I mean, to be fair, they are trying to talk to Genevieve's mother. It's just harder to do right now.
Yeah, so is that where you guys are going? To the Dragoon's hut?
I think that's a good idea, if for no other reason than to just do the writing test. But
there's also a slight other matter of consideration that should probably be had by Rutherford right now. That
aren't I the lord of this child now?
The lord of what?
Genevieve's brother.
Technically, no.
I mean, what are you going for here? That right where you can sleep with the first marriage thing, or what are you trying at here?
You're engaged. Keep it in your pants.
Anyways, what I was getting at before you turned this all weird is that I don't know that if you might want to consider your position right now.
That's what
I don't mean by the lordship thing. I mean that, again, ergo the letter. You are claiming allegiance to Graf Eltham, and if Graf Eltham stands opposed to Carla, going against the Graf could then negate your authority.
You think I care about that?
I don't know. That's why I'm saying I'm asking your position.
Oh, I signed it to get free stuff.
Right, but if you go against him, he can negate it just as easily. Or if you end up disposing him through action or inaction, it could also invalidate it.
That would oh well, I'll actually let Alexandre talk instead of interrupt.
Well, I'm speaking with the person with education and legal authority. Or actually, I guess legal knowledge. Well, I do have legal authority too, I just don't have as much legal authority as you two right now. I just mean I'm talking with somebody with intelligence in these matters. And I want to give you the best advice possible right now. The one that doesn't get you fucked over.
Yes, that's a good idea.
So, in consideration of the letter, if somebody's acting against, well, I don't know if that's directly against, acting against you, but acting against Carla, knowledge of that gets out. And if you act against the Graf, it could negate your newfound authority. In multiple ways, some of which I have just described.
Well, at the best, I become king, and at the worst, I die.
No, the king is somebody else.
There are no kings.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Even if you become Graf, you're just going to become one of a number of Grafs that are all attempting to usurp authority. So at best, you enter into a region-wide conflict, of which we're not even one of the strongest powers.
I know. At best.
No, I'm saying at worst. I don't mean to dissuade you from your current course of action, Lord Rutherford, but I don't know that you can read a strategy.
I know.
A war is fought over a long period of time, not in minute action.
You are correct.
Again, I'm not trying to insult you in any fashion. I am just stating that at your best, we would be over our heads. Even I would be over my head. So now that we have uncovered this letter, it seems to me that your current standing as Lord of the region is tenuous and should be considered thoughtfully Not to mention the tithe, which is due, and I do not know what will happen to the new lord should the tithe not be met.
I will blame the Zegan House.
I have it on personal authority, personal knowledge that the new graph does not care about blame.
Well,
You cut out there, but I think you said he does not care about Bogenhofen.
I did not say that. Did I cut out for you, Rutherford?
Yeah, you cut out.
Okay, I was about to say, well,
That's what I thought.
you were about to respond to me, Rutherford, so I thought you heard it. I said, no, he does not care about blame.
Right, that makes more sense.
Well, I mean, he doesn't
Yeah.
care about Bogenhofen either. He cares about his tithe.
Yeah. Well, very well. These things are not as a pressing matter as whoever wrote that letter and the beasts.
Right, but now being in charge, it's up to you to decide what to do with them. I can merely only act on your wishes now.
Well, let's go see Mr. Basque.
Anderson.
Genevieve's brother.
His name is Levelbold.
Levelbold Anderson.
Or Levelbold, sorry. He only appears in one of these. No, I still have not yet to say this name. There you go. Levelbold. Anyways, who cares? Yeah. We'll call him Louis for short from now on, because that name is terrible. Yeah, his nickname is Louis.
I love that name.
Yeah, well, I cannot say that name, Louisville. Actually, when you say it, what sounds more pleasing, Nero. So thank you for that. Yeah, so we'll just stick with that. Who is going to interrogate him this time? The guy. Oh, actually, as you guys exit, you do see him out in the street. He's being held by a Sergeant Grenstock. As he is shouting at the passing knight about injustices and how he's being framed by an elf for treason, and the knight just does not care whatsoever.
Child, leave those men alone.
Who are you?
I am Ritter von Rutherford, and you do well to remember my name and my face. Now come here. I have questions for you.
Sergeant Grandsaco. You hear him mumble something under his breath. No eavesdrop test, but he basically just says, "Oh, great, more bloody nobles," right? He drags him closer to you by the shoulder. Not too hard. Well, what are you, some sort of lord or something?
Yes, I am. Do we have a writing kit with us? I'm assuming we do.
I think you actually have one.
I have one. I have one at the.
Do we all
inn.
just always carry writing kits? The three of us.
Do you have one in your trap?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you've got a way to write whenever you need it.
All right. Child. Here is this parchment, this quill, and this ink. I need you to write a letter that says you have been shipping alcohol illegally.
No, my lords. My family owns the meadery. It is on our land. I would never ship other alcohol from here illegally. That doesn't even make sense.
That's not what I heard.
Step in to your shoulder real quick and do that little cup over the mouth into your ear thing, and explain the whole situation that the boss are the only people in town allowed to ship out alcohol. It's the the trade and sale of outside alcohol in and out of Bogenhofen, which is illegal. I'll say this real quick and under low breath so that nobody but you and me can hear it. Basically, into your ear.
Write your name then.
He does this. He writes lovable. It looks nothing like the suspect.
Your writing is not familiar. Now, what were you doing with Horseface? Drinking? Gambling? Drinking and gambling?
No, he's taking me back to Scottensburg.
So, why exactly? I don't really know what to say.
He looks at you and he's like, "My Lord, I didn't do anything. Just let me go. Somebody put that letter. Probably the elf.
Who
know
arrested
they're not
you exactly? Point him out.
He points to one of the militia members. One of the not one. Sorry, not one of the militia, but one of the soldiers, like the actual soldiers.
And that is the one who arrested. The exact one.
Yes, my lord. And the soldier immediately looks down at his feet.
Soldier, come forth.
Yes, lord. He comes forward.
Can you write?
Yeah. I don't know my letters, sir.
Take this pen and copy his name.
It looks very scratchy, but he clearly does not know. You can tell he doesn't know. Right, you have no idea what they're writing anyways, but his writing is even less prettier than at least Leverbuld's was
might have been planted on him or something. Like some bad cop stuff. So now there's 4 of us, the sergeant, the soldier, and Genevieve's brother, Lovebold. Well, Sergeant, you write your name.
What, my name, sir?
Yep.
He just walks up and makes an X on the sheet. That's my mark, sir.
Very good. Carry on with your soldier.
Yes, Lord.
Sorry, just to catch up. Why were you making him write an X on a piece of paper?
He thinks there's a dirty cop situation.
Doesn't seem like that now. No definitive proof.
Again, my problem with this scenario is that anybody could lie about anything. Again, you could even lie about not being able to read and write.
It's almost like we need a witch hunt.
You're
Or a
no,
warlock
you're
hunt.
right. That's not a bad idea.
So many witch hunts.
I would suggest against it, my lord.
But it went so well last time.
I don't know. It's like I suggested against it the entire time, and then when it went through, because of two certain people, the entire town was whipped up into a frenzy where a lot of people died.
I regret nothing.
I'm just saying.
So, Genevieve, what do you want done with your brother?
Did we get a chance to compare the letters to what he wrote, if he wrote anything?
It's not close enough. Doesn't. You can try and take a counterfeit test to look at it, Rasmussen, to view the writing.
But again,
What difficulty?
Easy.
But again, the problem here being is that he could just be making his handwriting look different.
Yeah.
But then again, anybody could be doing that.
Well, here's the thing. The first time I looked at the letter, I had a really good sense of it being a forgery. So now I'm comparing the real hand to the forgery, and I'm just trying to determine, like...
No, I completely understand what you're doing. I'm just saying that anybody that had no hand in this, their handwriting would look different, and then the person who did do this would know to make their handwriting look different. So that's always going to look different.
You're not wrong, but all I'm trying to determine is whether it's this specific dude. Yeah, that's it. That's
No,
as far as
I said I get that, but it's just, how will you tell if he's faking his handwriting this time?
Well,
I would argue the following. Oh, sorry, Gamemasters.
Yeah, okay. Because I was going to say this, which would probably help end this, because what you're looking for is like similarities, right? Even if you're faking it, when you write something, you do that whole detective thing. You get the computer screen up, you compare lines and lines, and you'll always carry some things through. And the reason why I'm asking for counterfeit is a counterfeiter, a forger would actually know that quite well. The trick to making a good forgery is to make sure you don't leave your own writing, your own style in that document you're attempting to produce.
I guess my thing is I've made a couple of jokes about Sherlock Holmes earlier, and I'm considering every villain to be a Moriarty. If this person is trying to hide their handwriting, they might as well be ambidextrous and writing with their left hand for this fake note and writing with their right hand for this one. It's going to look completely different, and there's not going to be any way to tell. And this person could lie about being right-handed the whole time. So, I mean, I'm just looking for the master stroke villain.
That's exactly true. However, looking at the things, you would conclude that these are two different people writing these things. Like, he did not write this note, from as far as you can tell, right?
Okay, fair enough. Well, I mean, if nothing else, this is good news for him. And I'm not going to say anything at the moment. I'll wait until the group is sort of out of his earshot so that I'll reveal it, and then they can decide what they want.
I mean, it's also not great news for us either way, because he is going to go home and tattle to Daddy how bad of a time he had here.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if we can't handle one, irate mead seller, then
I'm gonna
we really have
lean.
no business being here.
I'm gonna lean into Rutherford's ear and whisper about how important the Sir Bask is to all, not only the local region, but in fact the entire region, and when it comes to meat sales and how wealthy of a merchant and successful a merchant he is.
Mm-hmm.
Again, over the shoulder, whisper in your ear, hand cupped to mouth.
So, child,
Yes, my lord.
I apologize for being so aggressive, but we're investigating some horrible things happening in town. As you can see, there's quite the happenings. You would go and
Yeah.
tell Sir Bask that his estate has been destroyed by the beastmen, and that he has I don't know.
Oh,
Say something
well,
nice. I don't know.
Yeah,
you just say something.
you really went downhill with this, and you really need to upsell it real quick.
Yeah.
Would you like to just put this into an easy charm roll to try and get him to do what you want to do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh wait, I can help with that. Finally, my valet thing will come into play.
Yeah. Yes. Awesome. Go for it. Go for
Crap,
your
it's
charm
been
roll.
so long that I've forgotten how the assist rule works.
He's not lowborn, right?
Honestly, so am I. No, he is not. He is a burger.
Oh,
Assist die is just a
is that
D10,
20
right?
from...
No, you had it so well. I don't need to assist you.
Can you turn into a crit with your assist die? Actually, you might be able to turn into a crit. And if not, based on the rules, I think based on the
Doesn't matter. I can only add an replace with an 8 or a 6, which would not change anything into a crit.
right.
I think there's an extra 20 there. Oh wait, no, that was the difficulty. Never mind.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. He says, yeah, yes, Lord, I will. I will certainly bring that news to my father. And
Very well. Safe journeys. Also tell Horseface to have a drink for me while he's away.
yeah, yes, my lord.
Lean into it again. That's kind of insulting considering everything I just told you. Remember, they have an agreement with the region where only they are allowed to sell and transport alcohol in here, and you just told the guy who's transporting illegal alcohol to have more drinks.
Lean into it, Rutherford.
Also, I think maybe we should have a conversation about this new affectation that you've developed, calling people child.
Well, he is a child.
No, he's not really that much younger than you.
He's technically still a 15-year-old, not quite an adult yet.
Right, but you're
Oh.
calling everybody child, which is... I'm just saying we should probably have a conversation about this.
I do not plan to do that. Only the children.
Did you not just call that elderly guard man a child?
I'm pretty sure I called him a soldier or sir.
Anyways, he runs off like the Sergeant Grensack, like, let's go. And he like attempts to quickly fade into a background. It's actually quite an impressive skill he has to like just immediately fade into the background of any situation. And the Jen's brother quickly runs over to where the ferry is docked.
All right. What should we do now? Castle?
I say we go to the castle.
Yep, that's my vote.
Well, let's load up and go.
Okay. You guys have an ox and a cart. I imagine you were able to get some rations. The trip out, you can look on the map. It'll take about a day getting there, even with the what's called. You can camp along the way. We'll just assume it's a successful camp. We won't go through the whole rolls and everything. It's not necessary quite yet. As you approach the castle, closer to the mountains, the snow definitely gets bigger. Within a day, you are able to see Bogan Castle, or within the next morning, after a few hours, you're able to get your first glimpse. As you come closer, I actually found a really cool castle that is about exactly how I imagined this. So there you go. That is Bogan Castle, situated, except for covered in snow at the moment.
Oh, neat.
For the curious, that's the actual castle. So you get the view of Bogan Castle and its ruined structures. You spend some time going up the hill. You don't see much in the way of things. The path obviously hasn't been traveled. There's no tracks in the snow on the approach to the castle. Is there anything anybody wants to be doing or looking out for or whatever on your way up?
No, Rasmussen is just having a miserable time, as he always does when on a long, but is otherwise just focused on, just the surroundings, normal caution on a journey, but not he's not obsessive about it.
I'm just riding along.
Yeah. Okay. Genevieve, I imagine you're on your horse.
Yes, totally on my horse. I don't sense anyone watching us, right, or anything.
Maybe make an awareness test.
Standard.
Yes.
Okay.
Gosh, nothing strikes you on the path up. It is a bit overgrown. As you're walking, though, you step on something and you feel it hard beneath your feet. As your boot maybe comes away, the snow falls off enough. You can see an old rusted thing. When you pick it up, you instantly recognize it as a shield of some sort.